Hey everybody, welcome back to the Infinite Regression. We are going to be reviewing another NES game today, but before we get to that, let me just explain why it might sound a little bit different, why you may hear some things in the background, why it may seem echoey and terrible from an audio standpoint. That is because this is not my usual setup. This is not the house that I've been recording in times past, and it will not be the house that I will be recording in the future. You know, eventually we're going to get the place that we're going to live in forever, hopefully, and yeah, hopefully that's going to work out for us. But you know, until then, we're just kind of in an in-between place, and I'm still trying to make content for y'all and make content for myself, because it helps me feel like things are normal in this time of great upheaval. So please stick with me on all that. Anyway, today we're going to be reviewing the fantastic little baseball game, Baseball Simulator 1.000. Now, this game is kind of ridiculous. Just the name alone, you may think like, oh, this could be one of those like stats only kind of baseball things where it's just the statistics and it's made for baseball nerds and nobody else is going to care about it. That's what it sounds like. That's what it seems like. That's not what it is, but that's what it seems like. I understand, just looking at it, you see kind of that, you know, muted NES style palette, and you see that you know, you see the title come up. You see Culture Brain, who made it, released in 1989 toward the end of the NES's lifespan, and you start to think, hey, is this what I think it is? Is this one of them good games? Is this a fun game? Is this an interesting game? It is. It really is. The name doesn't sell it. The fact that it's from Culture Brain doesn't necessarily sell it. I mean, Culture Brain had some decent games, but they also had some weird games. And not everything they did was fantastic. Some of the things they did were just kind of weird. Including those games that came out on the NES, and especially those games that came out after the NES. Anyway, so when you first look at this game, you think, is this going to be just, you know, straight up sim? But then you get to choose where you're going to be playing, the stadium and whatnot, and your choices are between like a few regular sort of places. But then also you can play in outer space. So yeah, that it hits a little bit weird. And then when you're playing, sometimes for reasons that I do not completely understand, because I don't have the manual, so I don't know exactly what goes on, but you will get super power-ups for your pitcher or your batter, and then you'll get to like hit the ball super hard, or you'll get to, you know, pitch it so hard that the ball catches on fire and it breaks the batter's bat, you know. So it, in that sense, it actually has a little more in common with Mario Baseball All-Stars. Is that the name of the game? I believe so. That came out on the GameCube and later on the Wii. Those similar Mario Baseball type games where you get the crazy power-ups and it's all a little bit nuts. Yeah, this game is a little more similar to that than it is to your standard like RBI baseball kind of a thing. First of all, there are no licensed teams in this game. It is all kind of ridiculous. You know, there's city names, they're not team names, and there are multiple leagues, divisions you can choose from. Down at the bottom, there are the super OP, powered up, high flying, offensive, destructive teams that you can choose from. I choose those so that I don't get beat badly by the CPU, because the CPU has a tendency to beat the crap out of you in this game. Now, here's the one thing that I will say about this game. It has all of the same things that I love about Bad News Baseball. It's got a smooth batting mechanic. It's got easy-to-learn pitch controls. It does not take very much time at all, and then you're on top of it. You know what you're doing. But this game has the best fielder mechanics I have ever seen on an NES baseball game. And that is not saying much, because it took a long time for fielding in baseball video games to not be complete dog crap. Like, still, there are points where you can't see your outfielder, you know, your left fielder, your right fielder. You can't see where they are until the ball catches up to them, and that's kind of a crap situation. It's not ideal, but these guys move faster than any other NES baseball game of which I'm aware, so there's a chance you can catch the ball, and that is a million-point improvement over all the other NES baseball games of which I'm aware, where, you know, the pitching is fun, the batting is fun, but the fielding is complete dog crap. Like, I turned some double plays, like multiple double plays. I caught some balls on my own. It was not the automated fielding, it was me doing it. And so that being the case, like, hooray for you, Baseball Simulator 1.000. Who greenlit that name, by the way? Like, who said that was a good idea? Someone at Culture Brain, obviously. Like, they're a weird company, they make weird games, but this literally might be the best Culture Brain game out there. I don't know. Tell me I'm wrong. I mean, there's Flying Dragon, Flying Warrior. Depends on how you feel about those games. There's Kung Fu Heroes, which is much better in the arcade version than the NES version. But yeah, as for games on the NES, this is arguably the best Culture Brain game that you can find. Arguably. It may even be an open and shut argument. But yeah, I found myself really enjoying it up until the part where the CPU started just destroying me. Like, just crushing it. And I couldn't figure out how to change pitchers because my guy was sweating, and I think that's a sign that you need to take him out, but we were only like 3-4 innings in, you know. I don't like to be the pitch count guy and pull my pitcher early. I like him to go, you know, 7 innings at least if he can, but, you know, you can't always get that. Anyway, once again, apologies if the audio is bad. I'm seeing my microphone hit peaks a lot, and also my P's might be popping. I'm trying not to make... I'm using the only microphone I have right now that has a windscreen on it, but it does not have a pop filter, so we're doing our best. We are doing our best. Anyway, back to the game. So, yeah, Baseball Simulator 1.000 is a fun little game. And it's one, like, here's the best part about it, is that you can play it solo. So many of the NES baseball games, if you want to have the most fun that you can have with them, you need to play them against a second person, because you won't be overpowered. They will, you know, come up against the same crappy fielding mechanics that you have, and that will make it so that, you know, things are equal. But this one, you can actually play against the CPU. I would recommend choosing one of the OP teams down at the bottom, but Aside from that, aside from, you know, choosing a much stronger team for yourself than you choose for your CPU opponent, you can play this one solo, and that is not something I can say for other NES baseball games. Maybe I'm terrible at them. I will admit that I probably am, but that's how I feel about it. Anyway, this game is full of just sort of whimsical, funny sort of nonsense. There was a time where I had a fielder jumping after a home run, and he like jumped almost out of the stadium. I don't know where that came from. That was hilarious. Guys can slide. They have expression. There's, you know, there's a lot here that's fun and interesting. And it has a terrible name for the game. It doesn't tell you anything about what it is in the name. But, you know, I'll be danged. I'll be darned. I'll be gosh darned, me just trying not to swear. If I didn't have a delightful time playing this game today, I've played it many times before, and I have always enjoyed it. And that's about all you can look for in a baseball game. Can you play it by yourself? Yes, you can. Can you play it a full 9 innings and enjoy it the entire time? Yes, you can. So, yeah, it is a good time, and I definitely recommend it. If you're looking for any sports game on the NES, like this might be it. There are others that I do like, but this is, you know, this is pretty high up there in terms of quality and in terms of how much fun it is to actually play. So, yeah, if you have looked at other baseball games on the NES and have been turned off by the fact that they are difficult to play with the outfielding as bad as it is, yeah, this one will give you a glimmer of hope. Maybe more than a glimmer, but, you know, it will give you hope. Anyway, give me a second, I'll put a final score on this one, and then we'll wrap it up. So, for Baseball Simulator 1.000, in spite of its stupid name, and definitely in light of the fact that the fielding is not a complete dog turd in this game, it's like, at most, it's like a mouse turd. It's still not good. It's still not great, the fielding, but it's workable, and that's kind of the best you can look for on the NES. But here's the final score. We are going an 8 out of a possible 10 pictures of Nolan Ryan punching Robin Ventura. If you have never seen this, this is quite possibly the best baseball fight there has ever been, or quite possibly could ever be. I mean, imagine being Nolan Ryan and making your living with your hands and then just laying them on Robin Ventura's face. Like, you gotta see it. Robin Ventura rushes the mound, and Nolan Ryan headlocks him and then just pummels the crap out of him. It's this is pretty darn impressive. You don't really see things like that in baseball as much. And boy, yeah, Nolan Ryan was one of my favorite players growing up, so I had his baseball cards for sure. Those Topps 5,000 Club for his 5,000 strikeouts. And there were 4 of them. One for each of the teams he played for. Because he played for the Rangers, Astros, Angels, Mets, maybe? I forget who all he played for. See, that's how good my memory is. Anyway, Nolan Ryan, great player. Robin Ventura, great player. Nolan Ryan handled Robin Ventura. You just gotta see it. Just look it up on YouTube if you've never seen it. There's gonna be a million copies of it. But anyway, great little bit of baseball history. So yeah, this game right here, Baseball Simulator 1.000, so much more than it would appear to be at first blush. And quite frankly, you're probably going to hear me saying it again. It'll just be another month or so before I'm crowning a new king, because there'll be some other NES baseball game that I forgot about, and I'll be like, oh no, really, it's this one. Who knows? Who knows? But in the meantime, we got this one, and it's good. It's really good. Anyway, people, I think that'll do it for this one. I will see you in the next one. Okay, bye.